on, everybody? Welcome. Welcome. It's finally here. We've finally reached it. Congratulations to our good pal, Tomato Toaster, for having launched a very big video game. That's right, 2/22/24. Game is out! You know, I released a game on 2/22/22, so we're like related now. So it all works out. See how that is? But yes, for those curious, Anamnesia Part 1 is now officially out, meaning I can break all the damn embargo I want. Which, that doesn't really make sense because there is no active embargo anymore. But I like sounding like I'm rebellious. Pointlessly rebellious, in fact. It's part of my whole identity. But yeah, I hope that you've had a successful launch. I hope everything's gone well. Hope you've gotten some feedback. I know that always feels nice. It always feels nice to get you some feedback and to know the people are playing. I know you said you were going to Luna's house or a place of residency today to watch somebody play it. Now that sounds cool. You will keep the embargo up for me just so I can, yes! Yes! As soon as I jump in, I'm breaking embargo. And in fact, you know, like that's, I thought we could have ourselves a little celebration here. Now that the game's officially out, now that the hard work is done, you've done it. Still too positive feedback. You need people to say it sucks. Okay. Well, maybe I can be the one to say, look, I like it, but, and then you shrivel into a raisin when I say but. I'm not saying you're actually like that. I just know I know some people that are, which is why it's hard for me to offer feedback on games sometimes, because they're like, hit me with your honesty. It's like, okay, I can do that. And then they're like, wow, you're so mean for saying a thing that I could have improved on mildly. One great review that was positive, but ended on, I hope the dev tries going outside. But to celebrate, we're gonna, whatever you got handy. I've got my own beverage here that we can use to celebrate. We're gonna celebrate together. We're gonna toast to a successful launch. All right. Here you go, Toasty. Me and you. Big ol' congratulations, going out to you. It's refreshing. Tastes like trauma. Already ready to leave. It's like, all right, this is officially the worst stream for my game ever. I'm actually gonna DMCA this shit. All right. So, with all that said, with all of the pleasantries out of the way, our friend Oliver is returning to us, and we're gonna feed him food. We're gonna loosen him up a little bit. Gonna see what he's lying about, see if he is lying about anything. There's so many ways this could go, I think. After watching someone play the game again today, you can probably say without bias at all that today's section is probably your favorite. Uh-oh. I better not screw it up. I'll do my best to not screw it up. I don't want to be the one person who's like, oh yeah, that was the worst stream. The dev looks at all the streams of their wonderful game and goes, I liked everybody that played the game, except that one. All right, here we go. While making our way through the living room, however, Oliver stops dead in his tracks for some reason. What's up, old man? Already out of breath? No, just... What the hell happened to this place? I've been gone for 90 minutes and you wrecked the whole room? Huh? Oh. I guess we left more damage than we realized. AR is covering it up pretty well. We decided to be rock stars. Yeah, I better not screw it up. Here, have a Giselle juice on me. Here you go, Toaster. Here's one for you. You can have it. It's on tap. It's ready to go anytime you want it, baby. We wanted to make sure that we weren't missing any kind of secret exit that might have potentially been hidden by AR. Unfortunately, we didn't find anything. I see. Damn. You could have just asked me instead of wasting all your energy on this, but oh well. Yeah, we could have really done that, huh? She glares at me. How is this my fault? Not like Evelyn said anything. Her eyes drift off, landing on something behind me. All right, while we were at it, there was something else I wanted to ask you. So, what is it? That file cabinet over there, is it, well, you know, a file cabinet? Or just some kind of textureless block of nothingness? Funny you'd mention that. We actually just talked about this same thing over in QT. Oh, really? Then did you try to open it as well? Well, yeah. Actually, Amelia told us that she did open it before we returned. Said she found a photo inside. One of her and some guy she didn't recognize. This is an all-knowing look. I think somebody knows something now. Somebody has an inkling. This is the I have an inkling face. This is also the I have played Splatoon face. Wait, me? No, Oliver would have mentioned that. No, he wouldn't have. If he's trying to play his cards close to the chest because he thinks you're up to some fuck shit now. Nah, dog, he's not saying it yet. He wants you to spill the beans. Oh, wait, Avery. What did he look like? We didn't actually get to see it for ourselves. She left it inside the drawer, and when we wanted to open it again, well, it didn't work anymore. So, it was locked? Seems that way. Damn, guess it could have been our photo after all. Nah, that's absurd. How would Noel have gotten his hands on something like that? Then again, why are you asking that question? You know damn well Noel has got you all, like, dead to rights, no matter what. Like, this guy knows everything right now. He knows everything and nothing. Then again, would that really be the strangest thing about this situation? Not at all. Oliver turns back towards Valerie. To answer your question, yes, it is a real file cabinet. Theoretically, you should be able to open it. Practically, don't know. Didn't have any luck thus far. Damn, two oh-so-strong men, and this is the result? I don't get the feeling it's meant to be opened. Honestly, I'm not entirely sure whether to trust this girl's tale. She was pretty out of it after waking up, so she might have just imagined it or something. Don't want to rule that out, at least. If you say so. She appears to remain skeptical, her eyes hovering over it once more. Anyway, with y'all trying to seek a way out, I guess I should expect the rest of the rooms to look just as bad. I would assume so, yes. All right then, I guess I'll prepare for the worst. Why does everyone laugh about that? Oh, come on, that was intentional. You did it on purpose. You know what you're doing. Don't sit there and act coy. Don't do the little finger on lips, batting eyelashes and trying to blush. Me, little old me, Widow Toasty, no. Wasn't even meant to be a reference. Sure it was. Listen, you are on modern day internet. Everything is meant to be a reference. You might not feel like it and you might not know it, but it's the truth. I make JoJo's Bizarre Adventure references apparently, but I have never seen one single cell of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, but I am apparently told that, wow, that's a hot JoJo's Bizarre Adventure reference. And so we enter the kitchen. Once more, Oliver's eyes hover over the room. This one doesn't even look half bad. Ran out of steam or something? Valerie glares at me again. How is this? I mean, how is this my fault? I mean, this is my fault, I guess, but you just... Well, just to make sure, are there any hidden exits or anything like that here? I realize how stupid a question this is halfway through asking it. Oh, now that you mention it, yeah, right here. Morphogenetic field, huh? Now I'm mixing and matching my references. Oh, now that you mention it, yeah, it's right here. He points to the plants adorning the wooden structure on the wall. Wait, really? He looks at me as if he's starting to seriously worry about the size of my brain. I see. Come on, you guys. If there was some sort of exit to this place, I'd have told you by now, wouldn't I? Or even if I didn't, I would have at least used it myself. Not if you were planning to kill us first! Ghosty! Hey! How's it going? We got a ghosty and we got a toasty. How's it going? Yeah, Toasty is the creator of this here video game. Not even getting a surprised face. Well, laying bare the flaws in my logic, he wandered towards the fridge, now swinging it open to take a good look at what's inside. This looks great. You cooked this, Evelyn? Ah, yes, thank you very much. Do you want me to prepare a serving for you? Pah! I'm an adult. I know how to use a microwave. Just sit down, the bunch of you. I'll be right over here. All right. Feels like barely any time has passed since we last sat here. Another breather, though this time it feels like the calm before the storm. The last break before we find out what Oliver has to say. And through that, whether Valerie is going to share what she knows. And hey, even if I don't reveal anything myself, at least I can at least help when it comes to pulling the pieces together, right? That's the least I can do. It's what I tell myself. I just don't want to bear the guilt of being selfish, huh? I don't want them to think of me as useless. That's all this is about. I don't truly care about what happens to them, do I? They're still talking. Oh, hey, they're talking! They're talking. Okay. And not like the old didn't spare any expenses when it comes to drinks either. Got us some water. Carbonated water! Crazy! Well, I'm gonna grab a glass. Anyone else want some? Oh, that would be quite kind. Sure, Adrian too while you're at it. Ha! If you say so. Here you go. I'm using the log, did you see that? I did that of my own volition. I don't need any yellow paint. I don't truly care about what happens to them, do I? Oliver places an empty glass in front of me. Oh. Should I thank her? Should I thank him? Fuck it. So proud of me. I'm glad mommy's proud. I have a drink. I'll have a drink. Nom, nom, nom. Thanks. See, make sure he didn't say anything else there. Here you go. All right, cool. Oliver smiles in turns, beginning to pour us water one by one. At least I assume that was the intention. With how much he spilled, he might as well have wanted to water the table, though. Didn't take him to be the clumsy type. Damn, you blind or something? Oh shit, guess my eyes really aren't what they used to be. I'll get some. What? I'll get something to. You just sit. I'll take care of it. He's doing something. He spilled water on purpose. He did something. He's planting something on somebody. I'm suspicious of everybody. That's the whole point. That's my shtick for Oliver. Every time he says, haha, I give him a doofy laugh. I don't know why I did that, but again, we're dealing with me, so why do I do anything? He opened the drawer, taking out a rag to wipe the table with, swiftly soaking up the water while we hold up our glasses. Evelyn sighs, the microwave beeps. Just in time. He takes out his warmed up meal and finally sits down as well, beginning to eat. Oh boy, this is just what I needed. Good stuff. Seems he was right. This really did brighten his mood, huh? Though, I'm not sure how much of the food has to do with it. The air has grown much less tense. The strangers feel a lot less strange. So, oh, wait. He swallows. I guess I should get this out of the way. He takes another bite, carefully considering how to phrase what he's about to say. The thing is, and I don't know, and I know that this sounds like a total cop-out, but her memory's still gone, mostly. So really, I can't answer your questions unless you want me to guess. Nah, it's fine. Let's be real, I never had a good reason to stay quiet to begin with, so it's whatever. What she is actually trying to say is, that was the correct answer. Huh? What do you mean? Well, it doesn't really matter. We'll get into that. For now, just, eat up and tell us what else you found out. She seems unusually flustered, still postponing it, huh? To be fair, I don't really care right now. I'm equally curious to hear what Oliver has to bring to the table. You mentioned that her memory is mostly still gone, implying that... yeah, of course. I was still gonna talk about that, don't worry. That was a reference? You are a dork. So yeah, she did remember some things. Well, more accurately, someone. My heart stops for what feels like a year. All the blood in my body rushes straight to my head. I'm just waiting for Oliver to turn towards me and continue with Adrian. Holy shit. I was wondering why I was getting hot, and then the fucking space heater beside me has been running for the last 10 minutes, and I thought I was going crazy. Holy shit. I was sitting here burning up. I was like, am I getting a fever? And then I look over and I was like, oh shit, the space heater's on, and it's 50 degrees out. Adrian, is there anything you want to tell us? I shake my head. He didn't say that. He didn't even turn toward me. Instead, someone from the other answer team then? I ask before my mind has even a chance to catch up. Why? Right, just like Valerie over there, someone on their side knew about Amelia as well. Maybe because I feel like I already know who that person is. Though she wasn't quite as secretive about how they knew each other. Because while I tried not to think about it, I felt like it would only make sense for her to be here as well. Sophia? You've done that? Okay, I'm not shocked. I feel like that's a very ghosty thing to have done. Apparently, she's her girlfriend. Name's Sophie! This changes everything. And nothing. And everything. And nothing. And... I can't believe how worried I was about killing these glorified strangers by not cooperating with them. So what? Does that make me a bad person? It's not like I'm the one who's killing them. Like I'm responsible for trapping them here. No, much worse. If I did help them and if my input helped us win, then I would actively kill the people on the opposing team. This is no different from a basic trolley problem. Doing nothing might kill 4 people. Doing something might kill 4 other people instead. But one of those other people is Sophie. So no, it's not as simple as 4 equals 4. It's 3 plus A equals 3 plus S. Or to simplify it, A equals S. But are A and S truly equal? That's the question I need to consider. Which of our lives has more value? Looking around, Oliver seems to be deep in thought, wondering how to proceed. Okay, let's see where we're going back here. Someone, apparently your girlfriend, her name's Sophie. My, what a cruel reunion this is. Sure is. Did you know her as well? Huh? Me? No. I'm just thinking about how much of a head start they've got with someone like that on their team. Huh. Guess I can't deny that. So go on then. That's not all, is it? No. Looking around, Oliver seems to be deep in thought, wondering how to proceed. Sophie had something else to share. Something that might actually be even more interesting than her knowing Amelia. She remembered what happened before she ended up here quite well, unlike the rest of us. Huh? But how can that be? Did Noel make a mistake? Can we really believe that? You sure she's not just making that up for some reason? But why would she do that? I don't know. To make us fuck up, maybe? I don't know. To make us fuck up, maybe? Throw in some red herrings there, here and there to keep us from winning this? I get where you're coming from, but in all honesty, the more Nathan told us about her version of the more Nathan told us about her version of events, the clearer my memory became as well. Is that so? In that case, it might help us remember the same way. I'm not sure about that, because, well, it's worth a try, I suppose. He pauses for a moment, furrowing his brows before he starts his retelling of what Nathan told him about what Sophie had remembered. Straight from the source. She said it was the 20th of August, same as the last day I remembered. You already told me that much, so then... Well, and just like me, she made her way to the Neuralink Center in A3. Like I said, I planned to finally get my implant, but she went there for a completely different reason. She was on her way to meet up with Amelia's father, Professor Jacob Nyman. Neiman? Nyman? Uh-oh. I'm in trouble. I always get in trouble when I pronounce names. We're gonna go with Nyman. Unless I am corrected. That's the place he worked at. Nathan confirmed as much. Her father? But why? Did she go alone? Valerie looks confused in response to my question, which did, admittedly, come out of nowhere. The other pronunciation? Neiman? Knee-man. You guys like them animes? I like that Haruhi Suzumaya. It's a good one. That one's real funny. She's a funny girl. I like that one a lot. Neiman. I don't know. You're the one that wrote it! How do you not know? Drink it! Drink it now! This is your punishment! Drink it! Such a dumb gag. Why am I doing that? Neiman. I'm gonna go with Neiman. Well, actually, Nathan did mention that she vaguely remembered someone being with her, but the details have escaped her mind for now. I see. She couldn't yet remember why they planned to meet in the first place either, though I guess it's pretty likely that it's related to Amelia somehow, huh? It has to be. So her father really is Professor Neiman, I did not expect this to be related to him. Huh, you know the guy? Well, that might be an overstatement. I have already mentioned while you weren't here, but I work for Neuralink. I doubt there is anyone working in this field who has never heard of him before. I've never personally met him, however. Whenever I happened to be stationed in his center, he had stayed blocked up in his laboratory all day. From what I've heard, that's been hardly uncommon for him these past few years. Yeah, we never managed to get a hold of him. Ever since Amelia disappeared, he simply shut himself off from the outside world. Though from everything Amelia told me, it's not like he left his lab particularly often before then either. Yeah, that makes sense, I guess. Alright, so what's next? Well, they sat down in the waiting room with a bunch of other folks. One of them's on her team, recognized him right away. Eric's his name. Doesn't seem to know anything about any of this either. I wonder, is he hiding something too, just like me? Apart from that, there are some other people in the room, but she wasn't able to recall any particulars about them. I guess those must have been the rest of us, huh? Guess so. Though I have no idea why I would have been there. Huh. Well, there is one more person she recognized, or well, kind of. When she first woke up, she was strangely sure about having already seen the third member of her team as well. However, it turned out to be nothing more than a mix-up. Would have been a crazy coincidence if it wasn't too, because she was very sure that that person's name being Evelyn. Huh. Oh, I get it. Oh goodness, was that person's actual name by any chance Elizabeth? He nods. Guess we were right on the money then. We already assumed as much, discussing it over in QT. You two are twins, huh? Oh, we've got twins shenanigans going on. Oh no. Now I gotta keep a whole other page of notes. Man, when you got twins in a story, you know there's gonna be shenanigans. Like literally in the last visual novel I just finished, there were twins shenanigans going on. Pretty significant twins shenanigans too, I might add. So, all right. Writing this down. Twins shenanigans. All right. She nods. I nod. To myself for no particular reason. That Noel really is a cruel bastard. Evelyn's situation isn't all that different from my own. The twins are already introduced last time. We just didn't get the second one over here yet. Yeah, I know. Plus, it makes things interesting for people who haven't caught this part yet. Little element of performance. Come on, you make videos. You know this. That Noel really is a cruel bastard. Evelyn's situation isn't all that different from my own. We can't save ourselves without sacrificing someone close to us. Great, so what's next? We were there, now we're here. What happened? I'm like a serial TV show. I try to make sure my streams are kind of like a show, I guess, and that's why I archive them. Because I want to feel like they're worth watching or something. I don't know, it's dumb. I'm not trying to sound more high-minded about streaming than other people. It's just kind of I always archive my stuff, and it's always, in nice, neat series and stuff. That's the problem. I make videos. I always expect people to have seen all previous episodes. I have gone back and I've tried to dig through a significant number of your YouTube videos, I'll have you know. And like I said, Google Translate, their notes aren't, their captions aren't horrible. I can at least get what you're getting at most of the time, so. Well, that's the part both of us remembered rather clearly, though. In all honesty, it's not all that spectacular. The lights turned off, white smoke filled the waiting room, and we all started dropping to the floor one after the other. That's all. Didn't even get to see any of those responsible for it. Not that it would help us. Did we see anybody wearing a gas mask by any chance? The Flower, Sun, and Ruin video, because you actually edited the subs for that one? Sure, yeah, I'll do that. I will actually watch that this evening. After we're finished here. That's all. Didn't even see anyone responsible for it. Not that that would help us. Not sure what I expected. I guess that's the simplest method for knocking out a group of people, and without getting your hands dirty too. But Yeah, sorry, it doesn't jog any memory. That, yes, it's the same way for me, sorry to admit. I wonder why she was able to recall so much. Well, I got my theory. There is one thing the two of them have in common. I wonder why I haven't thought of this sooner. And you really remembered stuff after hearing her story, huh? Yes, though it's still much more of a haze than it seems to be for that girl. I guess age is simply catching up with me. Oh yeah, sure, 'cause we're so old, right? Come on, who are you kidding? No, sorry, I wasn't really considering any of you. There was something else I forgot to mention. One trait that girl and I share, which is why we probably remember more than y'all. Any idea what it could be? You're not chipped? An awkward silence fills the room and everybody waits. And everybody just waits for him to continue. But he doesn't. Instead, he looks around at our faces, waiting for someone to speak up, but nobody does. Like in a seminar that nobody actually wanted to attend. He really wants someone to guess that badly, huh? Alright, I'll buy it. Does she not have a neural link either? Did I take your multimeter? Oh no, you had it an hour ago and now you can't find it? I can guarantee you that I do not have your multimeter. All I have is Giselle juice. If you would like to drink some Giselle juice, I've got it on tap, 24/7, ready to go. Exactly. Wow, how did I guess? Well, keep in mind that I don't know whether that's the actual reason, but with the two of us being the only ones without one here and clearly remembering at least some of the things that happened right before this, it's a fair assumption to make, isn't it? Yeah, I guess that checks out. Especially since we already knew he clearly tampered with our implants, deleting our log and all. But is that really something you can just do? Delete someone's memories via Neuralink? Well, not under normal circumstances at least. Not very reassuring. And under abnormal circumstances? Let's just say it isn't impossible. But it isn't something that can be done without very specific pieces of equipment, and only Neuralink centers should have access to. Precisely where all this started, huh? Seems to fit the bill if you ask me. Let's not forget what this place is either. Not out of the question for something like that to still be around here, You might both be right about that, but then the matter of qualification arises. It's not like most people would know how to use this kind of technology, you see? Duh. Wasn't a secret that Noel knew more than your average Joe about this stuff? Or you want to tell me how anyone could have just went and deleted my log whenever they felt like it? No, of course not. Are you sure Noel himself was actually responsible for that, though? He managed to infiltrate the center, after all, kidnapping a bunch of people. How can we be sure that he didn't hold some scientists at gunpoint, forcing them to do this stuff? Yeah, that sounds like something a person like him could accomplish. Oliver gets up from his chair, picking up his long, empty plate to pull it away. Either way, that's all the relevant stuff I can share with you for now. At least as far as I remember. Can't just check my log, you know. Don't worry, that was plenty. Okay. How unusually kind of her. I'm just glad neither of them has mentioned me. I'm not sure how I could have talked my way out of that one. Not that it can't still end up happening, but that's a problem for future me. I'll figure out a good excuse by then. After a short pause, though, which nothing but the clattering of dishes remained to be heard, Valerie finally sighs and gets up as well. I guess it's my turn now, isn't it? Wanna head back to the living room? You sure? Really trust me enough now, despite not really fulfilling your request at all? Evelyn already told you, didn't she? That was the right answer. I didn't expect her to know who I am. You were spot on. I thought it was weird when she first said it, but now... I thought it was weird when she first said it, but now that I know for sure that Amelia didn't show any reaction towards hearing my name, I guess it would be a stretch to say that I can't relate. Okay, well, I guess we'll get into that. Then, you want to head to the living room again? Sure, let's do that. And we do just that. Guitar. Who's gonna play the guitar? When are we gonna play the guitar? Everyone sits down and Valerie gathers her thoughts. With anticipation filling the air, she speaks up. Before I ever spoke to Amelia, I actually met her parents. Well, met is not really the right word. It's not like I really saw them or perceived them, at least. Do the windmill! Do the windmill! Just like all the other people you meet on a daily basis, just walking down the street or sitting in a restaurant. You see them being there, but since you don't really attach any particular meaning to them being there, you wouldn't remember who those people were or what they looked like. That's what it was like. Just that. Despite not having interacted with them in any way, I clearly remember the fact that they were there, in that parking lot, in some small town outside the zones. That's because I know that we, my mother and I, were walking past their car just as they were getting in, and whoa, shit, it blew up! Oh, that's what this is about. She was involved in all that. It blew up? Stuff like that happens outside the zones. You know, sometimes you just have a big explodey. It's fine. Not that it's nearly as common as some like to claim, but yeah. I guess stuff like that that does happen. It clearly did. There have been a bunch of rumors and theories flying around. Some suspect it was an assassination attempt on her father or something. But personally, I don't really give a shit. The only thing I care about is the fact that I was hospitalized for months afterward. Standing so close to the explosion, my body was a mess. I've been through more surgeries than I can count. Large portions of my body were replaced with artificial limbs. It must have been an expensive procedure, huh? Not like the Corps would bat an eye at stuff like that happening outside their precious zones. True, I guess I shouldn't complain. Truth is, my father couldn't have ever afforded it. Amelia's father paid for the whole thing, clearly feeling responsible for what happened. Almost getting some kid killed. Who'd want that on the back of their mind? Well, I guess it ended up well. Medical science has come a long way, hasn't it? You can say that again. Would have never even noticed she had any surgery to begin with, much less that any of her limbs were artificial. Well, yeah, it's nothing anyone would notice. Even I don't notice any difference between my real and fake parts. The way they move and feel's pretty much identical. Am I my body? Is she her body? If that's the case, is she her body? Is she the Valerie of Theseus? Just wish I didn't have to get a Neuralink to use them. He's regretting ever letting me have this game. Are we all, I've been asking that. I think that's a valid thing. I think all the characters in this game could be robots. I don't think that that's outside the realm of possibility. She sighs. I see. Well, I'm sure you couldn't care less about all this. It's whatever. Point is, I was spending a lot of time lying around. My father barely ever took the time out of his busy schedule to visit me. But someone else did. Amelia. Both her parents were heavily injured, especially her mother. She ended up in an even more severe condition than I did, and so Amelia came to visit her pretty regularly. And at some point, she started stopping by my room as well. I was barely 7 years old, just started going to school. She was already 12, practically an adult to me. An adult who actually listened to me, who believed I understood how I felt, at least somewhat. She was the only piece of hope I had while I never knew whether I would survive another day, whether I even wanted to with how much my body was being torn apart. God damn it. You found it! Oh, that's why you said for fuck's sake. I'm calling your shots already. Well, I'm glad you found it, Ghosty. There you go. Crisis averted. All the doctors always tried to calm me down, but I never trusted anything they said. They just repeated the same empty words of consolation, wanting to make me shut up. But when Amelia told me that everything would be okay, I believed her right away. That I was more than my body. That's really all it took. Dumb, isn't it? But that's what I believe. Saved me. That's why I never forgot about her. Valerie is still managing to keep a straight face, but it definitely feels as though she could burst into tears at any moment. I called both! Look at me go! Look at me go. Look at me catching theming. Look at me. I know how to analyze media. I'm not a dummy. I mean, I am a dummy. And not a lot of my analyses are all worth all that much, but at least that's how I see it. She stays quiet for a moment, regaining her composure. I'm terribly sorry to hear all that. I can only imagine how... Yeah. Can we please skip that? Just go straight to what you want to ask. Of course, sorry. In all honesty, I don't quite understand why you expected she wouldn't remember you. Maybe you didn't have quite as much of an impact on her life as she did on yours, but she still took the time to visit you during such a formative part of your life. I would argue that it wouldn't have been strange for her to remember something like that at all. True, it wouldn't have been, and honestly, she might still remember if you asked her about what I just told you. That was never my point. My point was that she wouldn't recognize my name because she simply doesn't know that my name is Valerie. I'm so glad because like half the people who finished this part asked why it's called Am I My Body afterwards. Oh, jeez, come on. It's like right there. That's right there. My point is that she wouldn't recognize my name because she simply doesn't know that my name is Valerie. You never told her your name? But wait, wouldn't she have... Let's leave it at that. Okay, I'm still going with like the assumption that she's trans and that when she knew Amelia, she wasn't named Valerie. Just going with that assumption. I don't know like what that means or if it means anything or if it's even right or wrong. That's just kind of the vibe that I keep getting from her when we talk about like how she would know you. Whether she might still remember about that time she wouldn't have remembered, whether she might still remember about the time she wouldn't have remembered it after being told about someone called Valerie. She sighs. Well, as you can see, I was right about that much. Can't deny that. Nobody says anything for a while. Is that all? She really wants to pretend like this is the whole story? It just doesn't match up at all. I can't just let her leave it at that, can I? So, all right, you're still here. You've literally just been another wall in this room for the last hour. Sometimes I forget that fact myself. Yeah, just to get this straight, that's the only period of time in which you met with Amelia? Obviously. I mean, if we kept seeing each other, she would have probably known my name, right? So yeah, she just kept visiting me whenever she came over to see her mother, until she didn't anymore because her mother was no longer there. Just goes to show how much I meant to her, huh? She picked her words very carefully there, especially about the mother. Maybe? I don't get the feeling that she's lying about anything in particular, but she is definitely still hiding some things. I know because I know how this story ends. Amelia told me about it. Sophie did too. I know what happened to her mother, and she has to know too. And that's not the only thing she has to know. There's more that she's trying to keep secret for some reason. I wonder why. I need to keep digging. Don't get me wrong, I'm not blaming her for that. I'm not blaming anyone for anything. I don't think she's a bad person for not wanting to keep in touch with some random child in the hospital. Or, I'm just saying that that's why I wouldn't be surprised if she didn't end up remembering me at all. I don't even have any way to know whether she ever wanted to come and see me in the first place, or whether her father just asked her to do so, feeling guilty about what happened to me. Thinking it's the right thing to do, while not even having the courage to do so himself. So, did her mother ever visit you at least when she got discharged? There you go. Now you're asking the right questions. Now you might graduate from playing t-ball one day. She shoots me an annoyed glance, clearly not wanting to talk about it, but she can't hide any longer unless she wants to finally start lying for real. No, she didn't. She might have, but she never actually got discharged. Did I solve the mystery? We solved the mystery. We know why it's called Am I My Body? We got the answer to that, and I'm apparently the only one that caught the theming there. We're not our body. No, she didn't. She might have, but she never actually got discharged. Okay, I'm not the only one. I'm going to say I'm the only one anyway, because it makes me sound cooler. So I'm the only one. It's just one of 5. Okay. Don't worry. I will be sure to completely blank on the next 4 to prove my point that media analysis is not my strong suit. Still dancing around it, though there's no more room left for interpretation. Oh, you mean yes. I don't even need to finish my question. Everyone knows already. Downcast faces surround me, and I try my best to blend in. How envious I am of them, not having to act. Was this helpful? Did I manage to reveal something about Amelia? Despite meeting her parents first, they are the ones I recall the least of. It was only Amelia who just never managed to escape my mind. Meanwhile, she just went on with her life, together with her father, who survived with scars all over his body. Didn't even bother to get them removed, or remind her of what happened to his wife or whatever. Yeah, you could find out for free on Steam. Available now. It's not a limited time offer. Consume nothing else. Democracy is a sham. A lot of that sentiment is absolutely correct, yes. It's a permanent offer. You can play the first part of Anamnesia, Am I My Body, for free. Or you can pay what you want on itch.io. It's as simple as that. Boo fucking who. And I mean, it's not like I blame her. After what happened, she was probably busy with crying her eyes out for weeks, or whatever normal children do when they lose their mother. Wait, you mean... Yes, genius, my mother also died in that explosion. Right away, before the ambulance even arrived at the scene. Stood in between me and the car, probably shielded me from the worst. While forcing out those last words, I swear I can see a glimpse of tears welling up in her eyes, though she swiftly wipes them away. Is this my fault? Is this my fault? Well, happy now? Is this what you wanted to hear? I didn't know discussing our families was what we were here for. You're right. Sorry, my bad. A slight feeling of guilt begins to fill my chest. Rightfully so? Have I been overthinking this again? Is this the reason why she didn't mention what happened to Amelia's mother? She just didn't think that it would be necessary to discuss this, would have rather avoided digging up any more of her own painful memories. I might just be an asshole at this point. Maybe I've always been. No, she's still hiding more. I know she is. And it's not irrelevant, and she knows it isn't. She still pretends to never have met Amelia again after what happened at the hospital. But that can't be true. Her reaction to first hearing about her being here is proof of that. There's still something I don't understand, though. Sounds like a you problem. I ignore her remark. If you neither met her nor her father again, then how do you know about what happened to her mother? Or about how her father and his scars, or why do you care so much? What is it that you really want to hear, huh? Come on, just say it. What's her deal? I'm not sure what you want me to say. She jumps up from the sofa and lunges toward me. She's gonna beat my ass. Whoa there, calm down. Oh, I am calm, all right. She stretches out her arm and grabs me by the neck, holding me in place with ease. What do you want from me? Stop bullshitting me. I just want you to tell me what you know, which is clearly more than you're letting on, isn't that right? You're one to talk. Still enough energy to be smug about this, huh? Her grip tightens. Fucking hell, that arm's mechanical, isn't it? This is no joke. I can't breathe. We're gonna get choked out like a bitch. Please, Valerie, stop. There's no need for this. Don't worry, I will once he talks. I'm still unsure how much she knows. She clearly figured something out, but I can't just say it. I can't just lay it all bare like that. Why are you hiding that you met Amelia after? It's getting harder to speak. I'm not, because I didn't. We never met again. Is she really speaking the truth? No. The real question is, why are you hiding what you knew about Amelia? She knows? No, this is just a bluff. Or, to be more specific, that you knew Sophie. What? How? That makes even less sense. Did she know Sophie as well? No. I see Oliver standing behind her. I can't think anymore. My consciousness fades. It's gone. I'm gone. I'm here. Somewhere. I think Oliver helped us out. Somewhere. A room, dimly lit. A face somewhere between no one and everyone. Empty. It opens their mouth and shapes her tongue into sounds. Sorry, what? The tall and short woman standing or sitting at the other end of the room repeats the movement with her lips, but the sounds still won't reach. Yeah, this is pretty good scribble tech. Sorry, what? Again. The room becomes brighter and the formless faces surrounding me turn towards me. A classroom or a lecture hall or both or neither, and students with ages fluctuating between 7 and 23. This is the only art in the game you did? Well, it's pretty good. I think it's pretty solid. Them's really good formless figures. And they animate very well. The man in front of me seems to still be waiting for some kind of answer to some kind of question consisting of some kind of words. Sorry, what? He He repeats again. Yes, I agree, is what I settle with. Worked well enough, and the room blurs into a living room I've never been to before. My parents, resembling my parents, sit at the other end of the table watching me. I pick up a large pen with my regular-sized hand. These are good parents. These are great parents. I recognize these immediately as parents, so you've done a very good job, Arting. I pick up the regular-sized pen with my tiny hands and begin looking at the printouts in front of me, filled with shapes attempting to look like letters, pretending to form words or numbers, making up formulas, or both, and I write nothing as fast as I can until I'm done and look at my mother crying and my father leaving the room and my mother silently screaming at me. The flat top's real good. Concentrate. Why can't you just focus and work and function like a normal human being? I look back at the empty pages in front of me with a regular-sized pen in my regular-sized hand. They're empty and remain empty, and I don't even remember what I was supposed to write, and I look up at the wall in front of my desk. I've been sitting here for 2 weeks and still haven't written a single letter. Who the hell writes letters anyway? I step away from my computer and close the door behind me when leaving the house and walk down the street towards the station and take a train to Sophie's house. But there are no trains and I can't even find the station, and at some point, I just stand in front of her house. Neat. The door swings open and Sophie is there and gives me a hug and says, "Hi, I'm so glad you could make it. Hey, we met Sophie finally." And I say, "Yes." So we walk further in and she hands me a guitar and I walk up the stairs leading to the second floor and sit down in the chair in the room, and the room becomes brighter and the formless faces surrounding me turn toward me. A stage at a bar or at a festival, or both or neither, and guests with ages fluctuating between 23. For some reason, they expect something to happen, and I remember how I sat at my desk for 2 weeks without coming up with a single line to sing because I'm a failure as a lyricist, almost as much as I'm a failure as a musician, almost as much as I'm a failure as a student, almost as much as I'm a failure as a son. Not being able to bear the silence any longer, my hands began to move towards random strings, forming chords I never knew I knew, and began to play, and I sing. My voice echoes through the room with the grace befitting of someone that is not me, and I feel pain welling up inside my chest because I realize that. A hand grabs me from behind and pulls me behind the curtains and looks straight at me. Not the hand, the person that belongs to. The prettiest person that Sophie has ever seen. That she will ever see. She opens her mouth and shapes her tongue into sounds. "Sorry, what?" She repeats. "Sorry, what?" Again. "Yes, I agree," is what I settle with. Worked well enough, and she pushes me down onto the sofa, and her smooth angelic skin meets with my rough, disgusting body, and she sits down on me, and I'm glad to finally be of use to someone. Here's Wonderwall! Wonderwall followed by Freebird, like the greatest set that any band or artist has ever played. How's it going, BP? Hope you're doing well this evening. Because I can't talk, and I can't write, and I can't listen, and I can't sing, and I can't focus, and I can't be interesting or play the guitar or talk, but I can exist and be a body, and that's all I ever wanted. As I lay there and look over at the guitar that's still standing in the corner of the room, mocking me for giving up so easily, and reminding me that this sofa is the floor, and that this is a living room, and that I'm awake. With my eyes open, I keep staring at the wooden instrument in front of me. There is no sound. Complete and utter silence fills the room. How much time has passed, I wonder? My chest is filled with a variety of emotions, heavy yet hard to properly grasp in their entirety. Even now that my log has been cleansed, my dreams keep digging up these memories ingrained deep in me. Okay, where do we go on here? Okay. Hold on. To write about you seeing Evelyn again, about being discharged. Okay, as if Adrian wasn't alone and keeping some stuff hidden. Okay, wait. How far are we going back? Okay. Okay, I think we're here. Okay, I think this is where we're at. When you cleanse the log? Okay, so... let go of him this instant. Ugh, fuck! Adrian, you alright? He appears to have lost consciousness. He shouldn't stay this way for long. It could have gotten dangerous had you not stepped in, however. I'm glad you did. God damn! What the hell were you thinking, Valerie? Nothing, really. What do you mean, nothing? Were you trying to kill the guy or something? Those artificial arms are no laughing matter. No, I wouldn't have. I would have let him down eventually. Eventually, yeah? How much more unconscious did you want him to be before that, huh? I mean, you're insane. How do you even figure out he's hiding anything in the first place? There's been a bunch of little things he said that seemed strange to me. Not really one thing in particular. Go on. For example, when he heard that Sophie went to the Neuralink Center to meet with Amelia's father, the first thing he asked was whether she went alone. Why would he ask something like that? Probably because he thought that he might have been the one to tag along. That also explains why, out of all of us, he was the one to guess that Sophie didn't have a Neuralink. Sure, might have been a lucky guess though, right? But when someone barely says anything the entire time, but every single thing he does say is absolutely spot on, it makes you wonder. Everything, huh? So was he right about you having seen Amelia again after being discharged then? Seems like Adrian wasn't alone in keeping some stuff hidden. Hypocrite much, huh? I wasn't. Come on now. There is no need to interrogate her like that. I'm sure she had her reasons. Yeah, like almost killing Adrian? I didn't. This is a difficult situation for all of us. I can't condemn her for overreacting. Damn, no need to coddle her like that. She's an adult. She can be held responsible for her own actions, you know? Of course, that doesn't mean it'll help us going forward. So Valerie, don't you want to tell us calmly whether there is anything else you know about Amelia? You said earlier that you had kept in touch with her. It would have only been natural for her to know your name, right? I agree. Then why didn't she? It isn't as simple as Oliver is making it out to be, is it? So now I'm the bad guy, huh? It's all right, Oliver. You're right. I've been hiding things as well. Well, obviously. Out with it then. Just shut up for a second, all right? Evelyn, can we talk in private? Still don't trust me after all, huh? Chill, this isn't about you. I just want to discuss some stuff before sharing it all with Adrian. Okay, so what does that have to do with me? His Neuralink is picking all this up, dipshit. You can stick with him while we leave and talk, all right? Oh, is that so? He can check this later? Damn. His condition is stable enough to leave him alone with this dude, right? Of course, he should wake up eventually without further care being necessary. All right. I'll look after him. Thank you. If anything happens, feel free to call for me. Sure thing. Let's go then. Women, am I right? Yeah. So you can really read through everything we just said, huh? Damn, never thought I'd have to consider my words in a room with no one except for some unconscious kid, but here I am. Well, just so you know, as much as Evelyn believes that Valerie surely had some kind of reason to hide some things she knew, I'm sure you have your reasons too. So, I don't judge you. I don't judge you for not sharing whatever your connection with Amelia is, or Sophie, but please, consider talking to us. Hell, just the two girls if you'd prefer that. Just don't try to solve this by yourself, alright? If you do that, I promise to not let anything happen to you. Any of you. We'll get out of here alive, together. Damn, what a promise to make. Still, I believe we can make that happen. That's all. I'm done. Get conscious soon, okay? No, I guess you already are once you read this. Okay, I'll shut up now. Even now that my log has been cleansed, my dreams keep digging at all of these memories ingrained deep within me. So what now? Judging by my log, I could probably still convince them that I only knew Sophie, that I heard about Amelia, but only through her. Honestly, I wonder why I didn't just say so before. Even more importantly, I would have been fucked either way if it didn't come up now. After all, Nathan must have told Sophie that I'm here. Or at least some guy named Adrian or whatever. And Sophie apparently told everyone on her team that she knew me, just like she happily told everyone about her relationship with Amelia. I mean, why wouldn't she? She has nothing to hide. So really, this might be the best possible outcome. Guess I can't complain. After lying around for a little while longer, I hear a slight creak coming from the sofa. I slowly sit myself up and turn towards the source of the sound, finding exactly who I expected to find. Good morning, Princess. Slept well? Okay. I must have really kept the poor guy waiting for a while. Yeah, sure. It was a nice nap. I think I needed that. Glad to hear it. So, you should maybe check your log. There's been some stuff going on after you lost consciousness. Don't really need to repeat that for you, right? Already did. Hey, I'm curious. Does he actually say already did if you didn't check the log? Because I know that, like, the Steam page says you can, or, you know, you can just ignore it. Okay, so he doesn't say he already did. Okay. Cool. Now I've got my brain turning now. I'm like, how did you do that in Ren'Py? How did you figure out how to do that? I don't give a shit would have been awesome. Yeah, it's like clicking that you accept the ULA. Oh, that. No need to thank me. I just hope it cleared you up a bit, you know? Yeah, I guess. Not really. Crazy to think that the thing that keeps track of stuff when you're unconscious... Crazy to think that thing keeps track of stuff when you're unconscious, huh? Though, you mind if I ask something? Sure. I was just wondering, how do you feel about your log being gone? I mean... Never having had one and all, I can't really imagine what it's like, right? Is it more like losing access to a chat log or like losing part of your memory? What would you say? It's very silly how you did that. It also doesn't work perfectly at all, but it works well enough. I mean, that's how I look at all of my coding, really. It's big, it's heavy, it's wood. It's something I tried to not waste too much time thinking about. Honestly, it still doesn't feel real. I still want to believe that Noel was so nice and kept a backup for all of us. Not that it matters if I don't even get out of here in the first place, but I don't know. Both, maybe? Like, I could never have imagined living without all these conversations, without the ability to go back to any of them whenever I felt like it. I think it isn't really hitting me because I haven't noticed anything missing just yet. Once I do, once there's something I want to recall but can't, that's when all hell's gonna break loose. Although, Well, on the other hand, it would be an overstatement to say that they truly ever felt like memories. I look up at Oliver, who's still sitting on the sofa, much more comfortably than I am on the floor. Judging from the look in his eyes, he still wants to hear more, but I stay quiet. I mean, they are different, of course. They are just plain text after all, right? Is that what you mean? Are my memories my memories? Are my conversations my conversations? Am I my memories? Am I my conversations? Am I a text log? It's just such disassociation beats. Feels like you're James Sunderland right now. By which I mean I feel like I killed my wife and forgot about it. I guess. I stand up from the floor, avoiding direct eye contact. I definitely said enough unnecessarily embarrassing stuff for today. Whatever, it doesn't really matter to be honest. So, should we head over to the others? Wait, really? You just woke up and want to get straight back to the person that almost killed you? Aren't you upset about that at all? I didn't expect this kind of reaction from him. Is it really that strange for me to not care? Huh? Not really. Maybe I'm upset she let go. Damn, I don't get kids these days. Same. Either way, they're probably still busy discussing their little secrets in the other kitchen, over in the kitchen. So honestly, I think it's best we just wait here for now anyway. Yes, so. Please kill me, white woman. Your arm grip is so fine. They'll kill you. Oh, I love you, Cat. There goes the only way I had to swiftly end this conversation. Well then, why don't you tell me about something that doesn't really matter in the meantime? I get the feeling there's something weighing on your chest still. Oh, more than just one thing. No, it's just, it feels weird to talk about it. It's difficult to put into words how it feels. Well, doesn't bother me. Don't worry so much. I don't have a log. I won't remember most of what you say after we get out of here anyway. Fair enough. All right then. I doubt he'll be back down. I doubt he'll back down that easily. Sigh. Where to start? I'm gonna start by grabbing myself a nice refreshing drink, and you should consider doing the same yourself. I'll be right back in just a second. One of those candles with the Virgin Mary. All right, is everybody nice and hydrated? Are we ready to continue? All right. Put this away for now. Asai, where to start? For a very long time, I've considered the day that I got a Neuralink my earliest memory. The first thing that I could still recall. It's the first thing that I can still recall clearly, but that's a lie. I didn't remember it at all. Much less do I remember it now, despite the fact that I could probably still quote most of what was said back then. That's because those first entries in my log weren't memories. The words I still remember now, despite those entries being gone, aren't my memories of that day. They are the memories of me reading through my log over and over. Whenever I wondered what the first thing that I could recall was, I went back and read through it, the furthest point that I could go back to. And so, I still remember being asked how I felt, whether I had a headache or felt nauseous at all. That I should tell my parents to bring me to the center straight away if I noticed anything. That I might get unusually tired since my brain still needed to adjust to the implant, and that I should focus on resting for the day. All those little things, but that's all I can still recall. You're nice and high. I'll be doing that in a bit. I'll be nice and hydrated in a bit. But I'm nice and hydrated now. I don't remember the room I woke up in that day after the surgery. I don't remember the face of the doctor who talked to me at the time. I have even less of an idea whether any assistants here in the room, whether there were any assistants were in the room not saying anything. I don't remember the smells or sounds, temperatures or textures. I mean, I guess log files aren't going to keep that. It's just plain text. So in that sense, you are not your log file. I don't remember how I felt that day. And yet, thinking about it did make me feel things. Just not the things that I felt back then when it happened. So, what I think I'm trying to say is, sometimes I feel like my log never really helped me with remembering things. More the opposite, maybe I would remember things much more vividly if I hadn't kept rereading them. If I hadn't relied on it as much as I did, never having a reason to bother with remembering anything myself, with paying attention to my surroundings. After all, I always knew I could go back and read through the recordings anyway. Now my memories of remembering became their own memories, overshadowing the actual events themselves. Yeah, like this is kind of like where, like I'd kind of been tossing around this idea of like what the Neuralink is in my brain, waiting for the game to come out, and I was wondering if this would be a thing. So, okay. I'm thinking on the right track here, or something, but I turned this idea over in my head a lot and was wondering. Now my memories of remembering became their own memories, overshadowing the actual events themselves. How did I feel? What did I think? How did I reflect on my face? How did that reflect on my face? What kind of impression did I leave? I keep wondering about those things, months and years later. Sorry, I was rambling a bit much. Honestly, I'm not really sure what I was trying to say. Oh no, it's fine. Come on, I appreciate you sharing your thoughts like that, and honestly, I kind of understand where you're coming from. And yet you still plan to get your own Neuralink as soon as you get the chance to, don't you? Damn, you really kept entries from as far back as your childhood, huh? Crazy to think. Yeah, of course. I don't know, it just felt like a tough choice to make, just deleting my own log for no good reason. And if I'll regret it what if I regret it at some point? What if I grow old and want to look back at what I've been through in my youth, only to find pages upon pages of deleted entries? I don't know, something like that. Although I guess now that I'm here, keeping them this entire time never meant a thing, huh? They're gone, all of them. So wait, you make it sound like you never deleted anything at all, just once. Never. That time I pooped my pants, gotta savor that memory! The log file does not keep captions of sounds around you. It does not. It did not capture the sound of your massive diarrhea. Damn. Did deleting those entries make me remember them more or less vividly? Did I keep my promise? Taking a look at his timer, Oliver gets up from the sofa. Ah, damn. It was a good talk and all, but it looks like I gotta head back to my team soon. Wanna come see me off? So that's how much time has passed, huh? Despite that, Valerie and Evelyn still haven't returned. What the hell are they talking about in there? You need to talk about your pooping process while doing so that you could treasure every single poop. You need to like actually make each poop its own unique story. Anamnesia, part 2, Am I My Poopy? Yes, I used 2 there to be very funny. I'll wait for you to laugh because I know that you think it's very funny. Poop trails! Anamnesia, cha-cha-cha. Anamnesia, cha-cha-cha. Despite that, Valerie and Evelyn still haven't returned. What are they talking about? Like, I just thought, and again, this is just me, I just thought Valerie was going to tell her, hey, I'm like trans and this is weird. Can we like not make it a big thing? That's just what I thought, but now it's just like, okay, no, there's obviously something much bigger going on here. Do you not want to say goodbye to the others? Nah, they'll live. Not like I have anything left to say. Right, I don't either. I said more than enough. Alright, if you say so, then let's go. They're gonna shove me in or something? Like, what's going on here? I still get a weird feeling about this guy. I don't think he's all bad, but I still got a feeling that he's... We leave the living room, stopping in front of the still locked exit. Oliver turns towards me. So then, are you ready to join back up with the girls once I'm gone? Telling them what you know and all that? Sure. What I know, huh? Glad to hear it. And you? When are you gonna tell your team once you get back? Good question. I've been wondering about this for a while. Is the QT really his team? Amelia is kind of a special case, and Nathan is closer to his, or our opponent. Guess I'll keep quiet for now. Not that I know any of the details yet, anyway. It's time for the trans via allegory, my favorite trope. No one does have to cut like that. Okay. Alright. The door slides open behind him and he spins around. Well, that's my cue. Good luck. Try not to get strangled again. Yeah, thanks, I guess. Yeah, I guess having him around was good in that we didn't get strangled, and I guess there goes all of my strangle protection. And the door closes once more. This time, it's just me. I can't just stand around and wait until someone else speaks up or takes action, and yet I do just that. Awkwardly. Awkwardly? Can I even stand around awkwardly all by myself? Or does the feeling described as awkwardness necessitate the presence of another person, potentially judging the way I act? I think I could judge my own actions as awkward. I consider myself awkward. But then again, who gave me that who gave me that notion of awkward? Who formed that? Why am I asking these questions? It has nothing to do with the game. Maybe the hypothetical idea of an observer suffices. I don't know. But I feel awkward. As long as these walls surround me, as long as each and every word I say will go straight to null, I will never feel unseen. And so I began to move towards the kitchen, keeping my steady pace of around 2 steps per minute. Oliver was right, wasn't he? The fact that I barely care about what happened with Valerie is strange, right? Oh, it's very important? Always share my thoughts. I got you. You think the main character might have mental illness? No, I think I'm fine with spitballing stuff here, but I don't know. I think that's the dumbest observation anybody's ever made about a video game. Womp, womp, womp. Oliver was right, wasn't he? The fact that I barely care about what happened with Valerie is strange, right? I don't even think about it as relevant. I would have walked right back in there as if nothing ever happened. But now that he brought it up, I can't say that. I arrive at the kitchen door, but instead of laying my hand on its handle, I simply turn around and start pacing back and forth across the room. 1,000 nights fill my head, most of them potential scenarios that could play out once I eventually enter the kitchen. 1,000 thoughts fill my head. Why did I say nights? How should I act? What should I say? What they might say in turn. A small fraction of my brain that isn't occupied by these unnecessary irrational concerns continues to worry about the bigger picture instead. How should I proceed from now on? Nights or nights? Nights in the nightmare. How should I explain the fact that I didn't mention knowing Sophie? That I didn't mention that she told me about Amelia. That what my story is going to be that's what my story is going to be after all. I need to find a proper excuse for why I might have reasonably wanted to keep what I know under wraps. One that they might actually end up buying. One that might sound irrational, that might make me look like an absolute like the absolute asshole that I am, but that's fine. As long as they believe me when I tell them that that's all. That this is the entire truth and that I have nothing else to hide. Yes, no guilt whatsoever. Nothing of the sort. As long as they believe me when I tell them that that's all, that this is the entire truth and that's all I have and nothing else to hide, it's gonna be just fine. I go back to my log, check everything I have said up to this point. Over and over again to make sure that nothing I've said could contradict my explanation. That everything fits nicely into a plausible narrative with consistent motives for my actions. I got this. I stand in front of the door and slap myself on the face a couple of times. I'm ready. I can do this. Let's do it, champ. Let's do it. I take a deep breath, knock, and after mere seconds, the door swings open. Evelyn's standing right next to it. Ah, Adrian. Clap your cheek. God damn it. Yeah, I had imagined that you did. This is one of those things, I didn't even have to think about, that wasn't a stock sound effect. I am somebody that works with stock sound effects libraries, every day, and I was like, yeah, that's not a stock sound. Ah, Adrian. I'm glad to see you're all right. I glance past her towards Valerie sitting in the back of the room, not even looking at me. Makes me feel like I'd be better off not looking at her either. Yeah, me too. Suffer for your art, exactly. Me too? What does that even mean? I'm also glad I'm also glad to see me all right. Who'd say that? I'm also glad to see the two of you all right. Well, sure, but why wouldn't they be? And is Valerie even all right? Emotionally? Was she ever? God, 10 seconds in and I'm already fucked up. With cautious steps, I enter the kitchen sideways. in a way that allows Evelyn to shut the door while also keeping me as close to the wall as possible. Before she does so, however, she takes a peek inside the living room. Oh, has Oliver already left? Right, yeah. Huh, could have at least said something. I turn towards her, finding her eyes still fixated on the wall. Her words feel just as sharp as before, but her expression makes a shift in her demeanor more than obvious. Is this the result of their conversation, or does she feel sorry for earlier? Either way, I doubt she'd want to admit it. Well, it is true that we wanted to discuss matters in private. He must not have seen any reason to disturb us. I also told him that he wasn't the one I was worried about. Ugh, whatever. Doesn't matter. Just wanted to make sure he keeps his mouth shut about what we told him, at least for now. Should I reply? Would she even want to hear what I have to say? Would it help or make things worse? Hey, finally, eye contact. Fuck eye contact. But also, fuck eye contact. He said he'd keep quiet. He did, huh? Oh well, guess I couldn't have done much then. Now it's up to whether he's a man of his word. You still don't trust him? No clue. Do I? I wonder. Evelyn sighs, pulling back a chair. Anyway, why don't you take a seat for now? She sits down next to Valerie. I'm fine. Lean against the wall. I don't know why I decided to decline her offer, but it's too late to just change my mind now. All right, I see. Then just get to it already. What do you know? Why didn't you tell us you knew about Amelia? Why I knew about her? Judging by those words, they really concluded that I probably didn't know her personally. Hey, Junkyard Dave! How's it going, friend? So what's the good word? No good word yet? I take it there's no good word yet. Yeah, I'm looking at your profile and I do not see a good word yet. Unfortunate. But hey, hope you're doing well. Still in limbo. There's nothing. Time is frozen. The world is turned and left you here. I think you're gonna get it. You're gonna get it. It's just this shit's slow. Like I have heard estimates range from like 7 days to 4 weeks. And it's not consistent in any manner. There's no factors that seem to indicate who gets evaluated when and why. It's just, man. And I look just like Buddy Holly. Dave does. Dave does look like Buddy Holly. Dave does not look like Buddy Holly, by the way. Yeah, we are checking out this hot new visual novel that just released today on Steam by our friend Tomato Toaster. We're real proud. We're real proud of our toasty boy. Our proud toasty they. Or you say any, but I'm always curious. I never know what to call people when they say any. I always feel weird using any pronouns. I am so very sorry. Everyone I asked was all 4 days, and I was like, oh nice, and then Twitch was like, yeah, fuck. Yeah, like I've had a number of people that I know have applied for partner, and it's taken anywhere from like 7 days to 4 weeks. So, you know, just like buckle up, hope for the best. That's really all you can do. Any are fine. I know any are fine. I know. It's just I always worry that there's like a secret preference, you know, and that I'm messing it up and like and hurting people and not trying to. Okay, I got you. I always I'm sorry to have asked that question in public. I could have just DM'd you at any point and just been like, hey, do you actually have a preference at all? You know, or should I just, you know, go with whatever, you know, because I typically just default that way. You had a McRib today? The barbecue sauce was too sweet. The rib patties were just like the sandwiches you had. Yes, they're terrible. Why do people like the McRib? It's terrible. Oliver would like it, and Evelyn would hate. Oh, this is good. In a standoffish way. Thank you, McDonald's drive-thru attendant Polly, for listening to my story. Well, this might be easier than expected. All right, now just don't stumble over your own explanation, all right? Yeah, can trust good old Adrian to handle that. Those fake ribs and Hungry Man dinners are basically the same thing, but somehow the McRib... Yeah. You are not wrong. Like, somehow the McRib is worse than those, like, fake-ass... Like, what are those things made of, anyway? You will now place Anamnesia characters in the McDonald's triangle! Yeah. Nah, the McRib is trash. Now, the Arch Deluxe was solid. The rib came out on your brother's birthday in Canada, and you told him you were going to buy one for him as a present, and he told me that I was an idiot. Shawnee has made the right choice was made. Yeah, the McRib's not that great. You ain't missing nothing. The Arch Deluxe was like a 90s burger that they had, though. It was super good. They're never gonna bring that one back. Yeah, sorry. I know this doesn't mean much, but it's not like I had planned to keep it to myself from the beginning. When Oliver first told us about her being here, described what she looked like, how she disappeared, I couldn't believe it. I tried to convince myself that it was some kind of coincidence. Had this been all, I would have still come forward about it as soon as I had calmed down and thought everything through. But then you beat me to it, told us you knew Amelia as well. So what? Well, I could maybe have tried to believe that me being here was a coincidence, but multiple people in our group alone knowing who Amelia was? Noel must have planned for us in particular to be here. No, I don't want a McRib for my birthday. Especially since they're probably not especially you would have to buy it now and my birthday isn't until September. I don't think that's gonna be a very good burger or a shitty rib sandwich. I don't think that's not gonna hold up well. Not even in your igloo. It's just not. It was $6, which today's money would be $15. McRibbed for nobody's pleasure. Nobody's pleasured by that. You think I'm being picky? If not wanting to eat a McRib is me being picky, I am more than happy to be picky. Also, everybody, let's see. Everybody go follow Junkyard Dave and give him a watch whenever you can when he's live. He's doing a partner push right now, and every boy, that clip that they use for this is really good. Yeah, go give him and raid him. No, I don't know, like raid views don't count or something. It's weird. But yeah, follow him. Like if you ever see him live, just stop by, say hi or something, hang out. Push it! There are a lot I want to push Dave. I would happily push Dave. Cause I want somebody to shove. I need somebody to shove. I want somebody to shove me. Anyway, I'll take us back out of the 90s now. You have now returned from 1994. And if that was the case, I assumed more people connected to her had to show up on the opposing teams. And who's a more likely candidate for that than her own girlfriend? So you really know Sophie, huh? Yeah, you were right. I guess it would come out sooner or later anyway, but I don't know. You two are friends? I mean, I don't know. Are we? What would she reply? Something like that? We went to the same school and talked a bit during our last year. didn't really keep in touch afterwards until at some point she stopped by my uni, ran into me by chance and asked whether I had seen Amelia. I hadn't. That was shortly after she went missing. Huh, so you went to the same university as Amelia then? Right. But I guess a certain someone already knew that much. Looking over at Valerie, she simply sighs. Anyway, since that day, we have occasionally met up to grab a drink and stuff. She talked about Amelia a lot, especially when she was drunk. I see, so that's how it is. I think I understand how the three of you are connected now. Then, is it fair to assume that you accompanied her when she visited the Neuralink Center? I guess so. Not that I remember. I still don't have a clue how any of that came to be, but it's the only thing that makes sense. Evelyn nods, slowly connecting the dots in her head, except for one. I apologize, but I fear this still doesn't answer the original question. Why did you keep this hidden up until now? I can't figure out what kind of reason you might have had for doing so. Why, huh? I got this. I thought this through, and yet why? In truth, there seem to be two distinct reasons, one more absurd than the other. But they don't need to know that. One, I will keep to myself. The other, I have no idea how to phrase this without making it sound like I'm the worst, most self-centered person ever. Maybe I am. I didn't want Sophie to die. Neither of them says anything in response. I had a feeling from the very start that only the winning team would be allowed to leave this place alive. Yeah, this game's OST is really good. Toasty, if you would like to link to the OST on YouTube, I don't have the link handy, but if you want to link to the game's OST, this game got bangers. Am I a good liar? Back then, I was only motivated by my fear of Sophie ever finding out. Afraid of anything I share about my relationship with Amelia reaching her. But they don't need to know that. Nobody ever will. It only makes sense, right? Someone who was already to lock us up against our will wouldn't hesitate when it came to murder, would he? Of course, I want to leave. Of course, I want to survive. Like the mentally stable person I am. But if that means making the opposing team lose, outright killing them, then I'm not sure that I can submit to that. So what you're saying is, you would have been okay with being responsible for our deaths. Is that right? I can't deny that. This should have been the part where she snaps, jumping up while hurling insults and accusations at me. Instead, she simply turns away. I mean, if anything, I'd of course prefer it if all of us could make it out of here, but if I have to choose between protecting a couple of people I just met and someone I've known for years, then isn't it the natural thing to pick those that are important to you? Neither of them looks entirely convinced, though they don't have any rebuttals either. Still, how can I... And this isn't about me either. It absolutely is. Evelyn, don't you have similar feelings? Isn't your sister on the other team? That is true. I have tried not to think about that. I'm not saying you need to come to the same conclusion I have, but can't you at least understand how I feel? I'm sorry, but I cannot. I did not expect this response. Is it really just me? No matter how much I love her, that doesn't mean that I should sacrifice my own life for her sake. There is no point in living life like that. No, we should both work towards making it out of here to the best of our ability. Whoever manages to win will have to live her life for the both of us. That's certainly a more optimistic way to view this dilemma. Isn't it the same for you? Do you really think that Sophie would want you to die for her? I just don't think our lives have equal value. I can't live for the both of us. I get what you mean, but it's not like I'd be the one to suffer from losing Sophie. Amelia also remembered Sophie after all. Might still be the only one she remembered. Clearly, she's the most important person in Amelia's life. Is it right to take that from her? I look over at Valerie. Especially for you, who had some sort of connection to Amelia herself. What are you going to say once you make it out of here? I'm so glad to see you again. Sorry for killing your girlfriend in the process. It's not like she wouldn't understand. Not like it's my fault we're here. Of course, she's right. I couldn't care less if you think I sound selfish, but I just want to survive. If that means the other team has to die, oh well, sucks to be them. Stop trying to make me feel responsible for any of this. You aren't selfish at all. It's absolutely natural to feel this way. If anything, I'm the most selfish out of all of us. But still, she wants to get out of here so badly. Then why did you lie to us? Why did you pretend that you only knew Amelia from back at the hospital? She knew that I would ask this question eventually. It was only a matter of time. Taking a deep breath, she straightens her posture as if to mentally prepare for what's ahead. Yeah, so this is what we've already discussed while you were out. She pauses, probably debating whether she should apologize or continue. She continues. I'll get to that and repeat what I already told Evelyn. At least the relevant stuff. Went on a couple of unnecessary tangents last time. Before that, though, I was just wondering, how did you know? I already know what tipped her off. She told Oliver. It was recorded on my log. I guess it's only fair to tell her as well. It was right in the beginning, back when Oliver told us about Amelia. You had quite a reaction to that reveal. You were absolutely sure about who that Amelia was. What did he tell us, though? Sure, her name, and that a guy in a lab coat was working for one of her parents. I guess you could deduce that he was working for Neuralink, just like Amelia's father. But that's all you should have known, and that's far from enough to be sure about knowing her as you were. To react the way you did. So, what else did Oliver tell us? Before she starts her explanation? Okay. Well, that's a tough spot. Let's see here. We'll see how we feel right before she digs in. So, what else did Oliver tell us? For one, she disappeared roughly 2 years ago. I guess I don't really need to explain why you couldn't have known that. What remains would have been the description of her appearance. Green eyes and long wavy blonde hair. But that... I see. Yeah, I didn't think about that at all. You're right. If I only ever talked to her in the hospital, then there would have been no way for me to connect that description with her. She nods. Meanwhile, Evelyn looks back and forth between the two of us, understandably confused. Oh yeah, Evelyn, I guess I should explain what I meant. About her appearance and all that. It's simple. The description totally fits all the photos I've seen of her. But I know from Sophie that blonde wasn't actually her natural hair color. And that she only ever started dyeing her hair after graduating from school, shortly before her first encounter with Sophie. She never saw her the way I did. Yeah, back when she came to visit me, she still had brown hair. Ah, I see. The two of you really pay attention to the smallest details. I can't deny that. Only possible thanks to my log. All that overanalyzing might have been good for something after all. If only it would help us figure out the truth. To be fair, all of this did manage is to bring us much closer towards working together than I could have seen coming. And with that, arguably closer to the truth. Is that a good thing? The more I think about it, the less I hate the idea of it. Well, with that out of the way, Valerie, would you like to tell Adrian about some of the things that you shared with me earlier? And we'll find out what those things were, what things that she shared with her earlier tomorrow. Look at that. Smooth as hell. Boom. Alrighty. So, that will do it for us here tonight. We will be back again tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Same starting time to kick in another couple hours, I assume. I did so well. I read the words on screen. Can you believe it? This is getting interesting, though. I like how this is a slow burn. It's taking a while to get there, but the atmosphere is there, and I like the way that these characters interact with one another and logic it out. Like, this kind of stuff is not easy to write. Like characters like where you, the author, kind of know everything already, but trying to write characters that don't know it, but making them not seem dumb. And you've done a really good job of that so far. So kudos to you. I'm very excited to see where all this ends up by the end of this episode. So let's see who's streaming. Who be streaming? You know who's streaming? My good pal Angry Ed. We haven't raided good old Angry Ed in a while. So let's go raid Angry Ed. I think he's playing the new Robert Cop game. Raid Angry _Ed. Boom. Alright. We are all gonna go say hi to Angry Ed. So, whoa. That thing's ticking down real fast. That is, okay. Alright, so, we're gonna go raid Angry Ed. Again, we will be back tomorrow night at 8 p.m. to do another couple hours of the game. Thanks so much for coming out, everybody. You're absolutely lovely. You have a nice rest of your whatever, and we will catch you next time. Bye-bye. Oh, goddamn allergies. I can't even bye-bye properly. Bye-bye.